That is a Wiseco Piston for the 1985 IT200. How's it going? And welcome to another part of getting this thing back together. What I've done is I went ahead and ordered a piston kit from Wiseco because I really didn't have a lot of compression in the head. When I was kicking it, I just didn't feel a lot of back pressure. So as an indication that maybe something's going on, so we took it apart, looked at it. There was some problems there. The rings were fused to the piston. There was some scoring and there was some marking on the cylinder itself. So I took it to a local shop, Joe's Machining. I took the cylinder there and had him take a look at it, and he suggested that'd be the right thing to do. Let's go ahead and get a next size piston. We'll rebore it and clean it up and make it serviceable. So that's where I'm at. I ordered a new piston. I went from this cylinder had the standard, the OEM piston in it, which is 66 millimeter. So I went with just a bump up, the 66.5, and I had Joe. He got that thing all honed out and rebored to spec for this new piston. So I'm ready to go. I got rings that came with the kit, the wrist pin, the clips. And then from factory, I went ahead and ordered a new bearing that'll go in there, the base gasket and cylinder gasket. So yeah, all these parts here are going to help give me some compression and get this thing running. So that's the next part. That's the next step that I'm going to tackle. Got my service manual here. So yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's get this thing going. Alright, the first thing I did was went ahead and took a ring and then took a reading for the ring gap, which is right here, and using a feeler gauge according to the service manual, that needed to be 0.20 to 0.35 millimeter, and I'm right at 20, so it's real nice and tight. And yeah, I just stuck my feeler gauge in there and it just slides in there with the tension, so I'm going to consider that good. So I'm going to get that ring out of there, put that on the piston. Alright, I got one of them on there already. You want to make sure you get the holes lined up here with the pin so that they can slide right there. So there's another pin here, so I got to make sure that this opening goes where that pin is. These can be a little difficult. Also, I've read it's always recommended that if there's writing on the ring, that always is face up. So if you can find those, the writing on there, that's the way to go. These are kind of weird. I'm going to see if I can get this on camera, getting these on, but I just spread them with my fingers here and just kind of spread them and help slide them over. Let them fall into the ring. We'll see if I can get this on camera here without fighting too much being in the way. Go. Alright, yep. Alright, I got both rings in place, in the correct position, orientation. The thing's ready to go in. Alright, the next thing I'm going to put in here is this bearing. It's going to slide right in here like this. And I'm just going to go ahead and lubricate everything with 2-stroke oil. Just get it all nice and lubed up. I'm just going to coat this whole thing with some 2-stroke oil, get it all nice and lubricated, get inside of this thing here. Alright, that's good. Slide that in there. Okay, that's good. Alright, the wrist pin I'm going to put in next. I'm just coating this whole sleeve with some 2-stroke oil inside so that we can push it through. There we go. There we go. That's smooth. Alright. Push the pin through. Get it all lined up here. Alright, here it goes. And just the right amount, because I got to make room for those circlips to go in place right here next. Alright, now it's the fun part. Now that we got the wrist pin in here Now there's a groove right in here for these circlips to go into. There he goes, I think. There he goes. Good. Alright, that's one side in. Got the circlips on both sides, ready for the base gasket. There is a way this goes on. It looks like this matting surface, this little white piping here. I'm going to put this down because there's a dowel on this side and this side. So the larger holes show the orientation, and that's where that goes. So I'm going to put that on. Slide that over. They drop right into place. That's good to go. Gonna be a little bit of a fight with one hand here putting this on, because what you got to do is you got to compress the rings, slide this thing on nice and even, nice and straight. So it's gonna be fun. Okay, got the cylinder head coated with the inside with some two-stroke oil. That's all nice and oiled up and ready to go. Let's see if I can get this baby on here. Alright, I'm going to try and compress these rings while guiding this thing in here, making sure that the rings themselves are still in the orientation they need to be, with the little pin sticking out, the little locking pins. Looks good. Alright, here we go. There she goes. And bam. There we go. Setting these all to 18 foot-pounds. Yep, that one's 18. Yep, 18. Okay, good. Right. Alright, this is all cranked down, ready to go. Now I just install the cylinder head gasket. There is an indication of stamped on here, so we're going to go ahead and place that with that facing up. There we go, that's good to go. And the cylinder head, put this on here. I cleaned this all up too. This is all good and ready to go. I used Easy Off, a oven cleaner solution, and I did that during the summer. I just set it outside, let it get nice and hot in the sun on the sidewalk, and sprayed Easy Off on it, and it foamed up. And this thing was just covered in carbon, and that stuff works pretty good, and just ate away at that carbon, and I was able to scrub it off and get it nice and clean. I'm just going to walk this on here. Alright, that's good to go. Right now that I got the cylinder head on here, I can crank down these nuts to 18 foot-pounds of torque, according to the service manual, and just crank these down here. I also went ahead and changed out the bottom end oil, the gear oil. The oil that was in there was just a black sludge. It was pretty bad. So that's all buttoned up and ready to go. And that's pretty much it for getting this top end back together, this new piston installed, getting the head all put back together. Thanks for stopping and checking out this video of my 1985 Yamaha IT200.